While America struggles to find compromise over the issue of genetically modified food, products, and crops, several European countries solved this issue more than a decade ago. Many years ago, despite approval from the European Commission and European Food Safety Authority, several European countries still opted to ban genetically modified crops. After struggling to find common ground on what solution would appease both sides, the European Union and many of its member states finally made a compromise. I believe GMO food and products should be regulated in the United States, as Americans desire more transparency about their food, but see no need to completely outlaw these products. In my speech, we will discuss European policies that regulate GMOs and what America can learn from their outcomes. Let's take a look at what issues Europe has faced in the debate over genetically modified organisms. Though the European Food Safety Authority approved of genetically modified food, countries such as Germany, France, Austria, and Italy once declared national prohibitions on the cultivation of GMO food, according to an academic journal published in December 2014 by Ecological Economics. As a result, these national bans were declared illegal by the European Union because they conflicted with the supranational laws in place. Under European Union regulations, member states were only able to ban products when the state obtains new scientific knowledge that the product poses a threat to human health or the environment, according to an article published in 2014 by the Food and Drug Law Journal. This struggle over GMO products and crops has been a difficult debate that the European Union has compromised on by adjusting their policies. In order to solve this issue, the European Union enacted a new policy so that the countries who disagree with the laws that have been put in place by the European Union will not be penalized for what they choose to do on a national level. According to a 2014 journal by the Food and Drug Law, the European Union published Directive 2001/18/EC, which regulates the release of GMOs into the environment, meaning that the GMO products released for research, market cultivation, or importation would be strictly regulated. When companies want to spread their product, they must follow the steps outlined in the directive in order to receive approval for their product's release. France is a country that effectively used this directive when the company Monsanto wanted to cultivate GMO corn. And though the crops were approved for import and use, they were better restricted in their efforts to cultivate them than they would have been in America. In 2004, the European Union amended this directive and formed new regulations that requires traceability and labels to be present on all genetically modified derived products, according to a 2013 journal from the Journal of Central European Agriculture. After seeing the success that this directive has had in Europe, Americans know that this policy could be effectively implemented in the United States. I believe America should adopt a policy similar to the one that the European Union recently enacted. By adopting a policy similar to that of Directive 2001/18/EC, Americans are almost ensured that this directive, which has been in effect for almost 15 years, will bring positive outcomes for America. The Center for Food Safety reported that through last June there were 35 new bills introduced in 20 states that proposed mandatory GMO food labeling laws, but none of these laws were passed. The reason for this could be because Americans aren't able to see the real-world applications that the laws could have. However, through Directive 2001/18/EC, it is evident that there has been success and that these countries have finally met a compromise with the European Union, and that they have been successful. So, I propose a policy similar to Directive 18/EC, which would require a series of more rigorous regulations in order to release GMO products for research, market cultivation, and importing and exporting. Americans could even include the amendment made by the European Union into this policy, which would also require clear and present labels on GMO-derived products, and therefore there would be more information made available about their products to the general public. This solution would appease both sides of the argument. Those who desire more transparency for GMO food, products, and crops would be able to see the labels on the foods, and information would be made public throughout the internet and things like that, which would help solve their issue. And those GMO skeptics who see no need for any actions to be taken would not really be affected too much because GMO products would not be banned, but they would be more regulated and it wouldn't really affect them either way. We've learned a lot about the issues other nations face, similar to our own in this fight over genetically modified products. So let's recap. In recent years, several countries in the European Union have opted to ban many GMO food, products, and crops, though they have completed and passed rigorous testing through the EFSA, which has caused rifts between these countries and the European Union. While the European Union struggled to find a common ground in this issue, they recently met success through Directive 2001/18/EC, which opts to regulate GMO products and labeling rather than completely ban them. America can see that the solution is working across Europe, and my policy, which takes ideas from this successful directive, would likely meet the same success in our own country and be the solution that we need.